our cameraman had a little technical difficulty. A call come in right as she was shooting the gunshot residue. She shot about a 2-inch group. So right now everybody's looking for the Glock 43X. I already had the 43 and I didn't think it was enough difference between the 43X and the 43, so I got the 48 for my wife. I think this is going to be an excellent gun for her. I like the balance of the barrel being a little bit longer, and I like the front cock insertions. That allows you to grab it here or here when you're racking it. Some people like to reach up and grab it to the front. It has all the great fixtures that the 43 has, and hopefully all the reliability that the 43 has shown. So I'm going to hand it to Miss Kathy. I'm going to ask her her opinion on what she thinks about it. She's
very lighter than I thought it would be.
Really? So can you tell the difference in the weight between the 43 and that one?
Actually, are they not about the same?
This one's just a little bit longer slide, so she's really not, and I can't, you know, handling both guns, I can't really tell the difference in
this one feels good. I like this.
Okay.
Nice.
These are the Glock night sights. What do you think about that? Does that pick up good?
It does, but compared to
the SIG with the high vis?
Yes. Yes.
So you can add a high vis night sight to Glock from the factory. I think it costs an extra $40 more than the Glock night sight, so about $100 extra on the gun, and you can get the high vis if you want to. Now keep in mind the SIG comes with them, but at a higher price point, so probably would even up by the time you add those sights if you want. So what do you think about the grip size compared to the 43? That's something that's different and new on these. It's about an eighth of an inch wider.
It doesn't feel too wide though. It's still comfortable.
Still feels small.
It still feels comfortable.
I've been carrying it. I can't tell the difference between the 43 and that 48 for the last 2 days. I think we're at about 220 rounds through this gun so far. Haven't cleaned it. So I'm gonna let Miss Kathy try it and see how she does on the last target. Take your time, Miss Kathy. Trigger. There you go, good group. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep aiming at the same point, squeezing the trigger. There you go. Good group, good group.
I'm not sure what, is it slightly front heavy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. So I should have adjusted for that.
No.
I'm letting it fall just a bit whenever I shoot it.
That's fine. And she did shoot just a little bit lower than she did with the 43, and that's a very good comment. She's exactly right. I'm gonna let everybody see your targets. You can stand right there, Miss Kathy. All right, so let's start from where we started with, John. All right, now, this is a Taurus. While it's the cheapest, it has what I call a spongy feel Glock-like trigger. So it's a little spongy. When you pull it, it's not a clean break. It's kind of mushy. And that was making her throw her shots. Now, if she put a lot of rounds through this gun, it might break in and go ahead and clear it. For $220 average, it's you know, you can see that the accuracy potential is definitely there. Miss Kathy did a phenomenal job. I asked her to shoot at these zeros that's on the IDPA targets. Now here we're talking about the shield. The Smith & Wesson M&P shield group opened up just a little bit, but she felt real good with that. I think it fit her real well and it pointed real well. She made some comments about that. Now we went to, what was the next one? The SIG 365. So the SIG, she basically put 4 in one ragged hoe and pulled one up. I'm telling you, that SIG has got phenomenal accuracy potential because of the solid rails. It's got longer rails that the slides on than any of the other guns. This is the Glock 43. This right here is basically from her stance. Miss Kathy suffers from arthritis and has to stand straight up, so she can't bend into the gun or bend her back into the gun like most people can. And that's why we try to get people to kind of lean into the gun, because when you're standing straight up, you're going to get the stagger, but still, that's still the most accurate she's shot with any guns. That's 5 shots with the Glock 43. Right here, what was the next one? The custom gunshot residue. The different trigger was surprising her a little bit. I do think most people would like that trigger job, but it didn't seem to help her, you know, right off. She's not used to it. She's still got about a 2.5 inch group out of the gunshot residue with the stippling. She said she liked the stippling. She thought she wouldn't like it by the look at it, but she likes the feel of it. And this was the Glock 40 opened up. This is probably, I'm gonna say it was the one she shot about like the Shield. I'd have to measure them, but this may be the worst group of the bunch, so that's surprising. Millennium G2. Gunshot residue, custom trigger, custom stippling. Feels really nice. He actually shrunk the grip of it, so I'm noticing as I grab it, it doesn't have as thick a grip. It actually made the grip smaller, so he actually radius that. So if you go to a laser engraver and you have them do the stippling and you think you're getting a great bargain by not going to wheel does the whole grip, where the laser etchers can only do with the sides. So that's something to think about. .48. I've been waiting for this gun ever since I worked undercover narcotics, and back in the early 2000s. I couldn't carry my Glock because it was too thick and I couldn't hide it. I can hide something this size, 10 round capacity, has a longer sight radius, so hopefully we can make some longer shots with it, maybe on another video. SIG 365, that trigger is very different, so John pulled that first one, just focus on it just a little bit on the trigger. You went right through the same hole. Keep going, keep aiming like you're going. Keep going, good group, good group. That's where it's hitting for you. Textured gunshot residue pistol. John shot it phenomenally. I think it's the best group out of all of us. So you better be which one you would choose to carry? Which one do you like best? Just from what you've learned today about all these different pistols, which one would you pick to carry out of these pistols? Do you still even like your 380 better? Because you've shot your Glock 42 quite a bit, I'm assuming.
Yes. So if I were to pick, my number one pick would be, well, it would be between this one.
The SIG 365?
Yes. I think this is number 1, this is number 2.
Number 1 for the 43, number 2 for the SIG. I appreciate that. 2 great picks. That's why it continues to be one of our top picks. All right, John, come on. Tell me your top 2 picks or 3 picks, whatever you feel like you like.
I think probably my top pick is going to be the 43. That's had the texture job and the trigger job on it.
And you shot it by far way better than the rest of them, about half your group size on that one.
Well, when gunshot residue reduced the back strap here, it gives a more level sight picture.
Better pointability.
Better pointability.
Great.
For the stock 43, every time it kicks it up.
Just a little bit.
So that brings it down. The textured part on it helps me control it better. And probably my second pick, and I really liked it, which surprised me, was the new 48. Points real well. I like the longer slide. They took down the back strap also a little bit, it seems like, so it points real well. My least favorite of all of them is the SIG.
The SIG was the worst. Now your hands are quite a bit bigger than mine.
Right.
You know, so I think that has a lot to do why you can't shoot it.
It twists around in my hand, and it's moving all over the place. Even as when I really try to clamp down and put a real tight grip on it.
And if you look on the internet, this would be a top pick for everybody, and I think that's a real good point that John's brought up. If you've got bigger hands, this gun may not be for you.
Well, it spins. I mean, it'll spin around. It moves everywhere. So I really do not like that weapon at all.
Okay, Rod, what do you think about them?
I shot the 43 pretty well.
Yeah.
And I shot this one, except for the one I threw out.
Yeah, right. Good. Really good group.
But overall, I still like the SIG because it fits me pretty well. It's lighter. I can carry it concealed much more easily. I like the Glock 19. I've carried it for years, but this one hides better.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
and even with 8 rounds in a 10-round mag, you're still, if you've got an extra mag, you still got enough ammo to get yourself out of trouble.
It comes with 10 rounders, so that's 11 with one in the pipe. So that's awesome capacity for a gun that's smaller than anything else on the table, and very good accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll hand it to John. I feel very spoiled because I own 4 of these guns on the table. I own the 365. I own one of the 43s, and I'm issued a 43 for my job, and then my wife is going to be using this one, and so I'll be honest with you, you know, if you're spoiled like me, just get one of each. But if I had to pick one off the table, by far it would be the 48. Like I said before, I've been waiting on this one for a long time. The size, the pointability, the balance feels more like, I come from the 1911 background, and this feels very much like, and I know you shooters that are experienced are gonna know what I'm talking about, the old Llama 380 1911s. It has that same just real good feel, pointability. That would be my number 1. The SIG would be my number 2, and the 43 would be right behind that. Between the Shield and this one, I mean, I just have so much good experience with the Shield. It's been a real reliable handgun platform for us. I tend to favor this one. I think I could learn this trigger, but the trigger's real mushy. But other than the trigger, I have to give this one, you know, a 9, just 1 point deduction for the trigger. Adjustable sights, grip texture, has the capacity. They do make a slim line of this that's very affordable. You're talking about $220. So that's a top budget pick, even though it come in last in the shootability because of its trigger. Well, I appreciate everybody watching this video, and God bless and watch this.